And good afternoon, White County. It's been a rather tropical day across northeast Georgia with the comparing the temperatures to what we experienced over the weekend and the first part of this week as we prepare for yet another potential winter storm across northeast Georgia. We do have increased confidence that we will experience effects from a winter storm this upcoming weekend. We're asking you to prepare, and also, we want to let you know that the Bridge Church is going to be handing out food kits tomorrow. We'll have more information on that in just a few moments. But first, let's talk about what we think we might have to experience this weekend. I want to show you some tracks. We talked about this yesterday. We showed you this graphic yesterday of three different scenarios that could potentially play out. And all three of these scenarios would bring us a totally different set of circumstances. Well, the Weather Service has pretty much ruled out scenario track number one, and now we are looking at track number two as probably being what we end up with this event. And that's the track of the low. Subtle differences with this weather system are going to make huge differences as to who gets snow and who does not get snow and how much snow we receive. Um, the snow amounts, and I know you snow lovers want to hear it, but the snow amounts in this particular type setup are really not going to be a major determining factor as to whether or not we have any effects from this storm. Any snow, and I'm talking about anything over a flurry, is going to cause travel issues, at least for a while, across northeast Georgia. So the amount we ultimately end up with is not going to be a huge factor here. Any snow is going to freeze and accumulate on contact. So the Weather Service has pretty much ruled out scenario one. That was the more northern track up across South Carolina. And now the trend in the models has been pushing the low pressure system further to the southwest. And we believe the ultimate solution here is going to be somewhere between scenario two and scenario three, which will bring this low pressure system in across middle Tennessee, maybe across extreme northeast Alabama, and then right across North Georgia, Middle Georgia, and eventually emerging back out into the Atlantic somewhere off of the Georgia coast, maybe Savannah, maybe Brunswick. That scenario does increase our chances of receiving more snow across North Georgia. And we're talking right now anywhere between 2 to 3 inches of accumulation seem plausible. Now, again, remember, I mentioned just a subtle change. We're talking 10-mile difference on where this low pressure system moves across Georgia. Could mean the difference just in 10 miles as to who gets snow and who does not. Also, we expect some banding to set up inside of this low pressure system, meaning that some very narrow uh, swaths across parts of Georgia could see even higher snow totals. I mean, some locations could be looking at 5, 6, or even 7 inches of snow before all is said and done. But we believe that those higher totals will be closer to the South Carolina line, maybe just a little bit off to the east of White County. But again, let me talk to you about the fact that how much snow we get is not going to be the headline when this thing's over with. The headline is going to be the cold temperatures and the duration of the cold that we're going to have to endure here in White County and all across northeast Georgia. We're talking about prolonged temperatures below 32 degrees for 60 plus hours, beginning Friday night at around 11 p.m. And we will not come above freezing until we get into either Monday afternoon. And if we get above freezing Monday afternoon, it'll only be for an hour or two. Most likely, if we have 2, 3 inches of snow on the ground, we won't make it above 32 on Monday. It most likely will be Tuesday afternoon before we get above freezing. And again, depending on how much snow we have on the ground, That may not be but an hour or two, even on Tuesday, that we get above 32. So it could literally be Wednesday before we see multiple hours above freezing. Now, that is going to create a problem for a lot of different things, especially your pipes. You've got to make sure that your water pipes inside your home are protected. You need to take those measures tonight and tomorrow before we drop below freezing Friday night, because it could be Monday or Tuesday before we rise above 32 degrees. Your automobile, you've got to make sure it's winterized. You have to make sure that you have a plan for your pets. If you have pets that live outdoors, they cannot survive this long duration of cold temperatures. And when I say cold, I mean temperatures that are going to drop down perhaps into the upper single digits on Saturday night into Sunday. And we're going to put a 35, maybe 40 mile per hour wind gust in there at times, Saturday afternoon and into Sunday, where we could see wind chill factors drop down in the minus range, as low as minus 15 at times. So this is not cold temperatures that we are accustomed to anywhere across the southeastern United States, much less across northeast Georgia. You got to be prepared for frostbite. If you're going to be outside for any reason for more than a minute or two, you've got to make sure that your skin is protected. It only takes a minute or two for frostbite to set up. So you've got to treat this very serious if you're going to be outside during the coldest part of this storm. And we believe that that will be Saturday morning. You can see the low temperatures and the wind chills expected there all the way through Monday morning on the graphic that we have on the screen. It's just going to be cold. We've got the wind, and then any snowfall that we have that accumulates is just going to make this thing last even longer than it ordinarily would. Not really concerned about power outages this time, unlike last weekend with the ice storm. We will not have any ice here, folks. We will be well below freezing when the precipitation starts. So ice is not going to be an issue. As a matter of fact, this is going to be a different snow than we typically get in the northeast Georgia mountains. Normally, we get that wet snow that sticks to everything, but this is going to be a dry, more like a powder snow. This is the kind of snow you see out in Colorado at the ski slopes. Maybe the kind of snow you see up in Illinois, up in Chicago, Wisconsin, Michigan, New York, places like that that has more of a dry snow. The snow ratio here, and it's an important thing, and I won't spend much time on it, but just understand normally we're in that 10-to-1 ratio range where 1 inch of liquid would equate to 10 inches of snow. Well, in this particular setup, we're going to be in a 20-to-1 ratio, meaning 1 inch of liquid rain would equate to 20 inches of snow. So you can see that it's not going to take much moisture at all to crank out high snow totals across northeast Georgia and back into the Carolinas. As a matter of fact, some of the more trusted models are coming in a little bit wetter, and they're pushing that snow line a little bit further to the west. The Weather Service has now included Atlanta Metro in that winter storm watch. I anticipate northeast Georgia being upgraded to a winter storm warning. If not this evening, then certainly by first thing tomorrow morning. Now is the time to prepare. You want to make sure that you have all the necessities, just like we did last weekend, in your home in the event that you cannot travel. I would expect travel to be very treacherous Saturday morning and again Sunday morning and potentially again on Monday morning, depending on how much snowfall we get and how successful our road departments are in keeping the roads clear. Now, they're only going to be working the state roads and the county roads. So your secondary roads are probably, most of them will go untreated. And so that's where we would anticipate having the biggest problems with travel. Again, you see the list there on the screen on things to do to prepare for this storm. And we hope that you will take advantage of that tonight and tomorrow to be prepared for the cold temperatures and the potential for snow on late Friday night into Saturday across Northeast Georgia. And again, don't forget the Bridge Church tomorrow is going to be giving out food kits. It's going to be kits with non-perishable items there, and that is going to be taking place from 3 to 6 p.m. on Friday afternoon at the Bridge Church located at 607 Halsey Road in Cleveland. So if you need some food to get you through the next 2 to 3 days, then I hope that you will go by the Bridge Church tomorrow afternoon and take advantage of that opportunity. So we've been here before, right? We just did this last weekend, and thank the good Lord. We didn't get that 1 inch of ice that was predicted, because our situation would have been much worse. And it was bad enough, but it could have been a whole lot worse. So let's prepare again. Let's hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and we'll come out of this thing just fine. We will continue to update you here on White County Public Safety. We plan on doing maybe 2 briefings tomorrow, one tomorrow morning around 10 a.m., and then we'll brief you again at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon as we head into yet another winter storm threat across White County, Georgia. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.